What's up guys, John here. This For Honor guide will help you learn the 3 character classes, Orochi, Shugoki, and Kensei, and will provide tips and tricks you can use to outclass your opponent, including feats for each slot and how to manage them in each playstyle. Orochi in For Honor is an aggressive counter-attacker that focuses on getting the advantage over his enemies through their mistakes. Every opponent's attack can be leveraged into damage. You'll need to keep the close distance as Orochi and dance around your enemy. Focus on finding ways to abuse your double overhead attack, but don't use it too often as it'll train your opponents that match to specifically look out for it. Always remember to use your revenge meter. Revenge boosts your damage and health. As an Orochi, you're going to need to abuse the bonuses whenever possible. Revenge mode makes all your attacks uninterruptible as well, and attacks are auto-parried on activation. Basically, makes you something to run away from. Use your revenge meter during an enemy attack to auto-parry it and get in a few hits. Your opponent will be open to free hits if you pop it during their attack animation. Next, we'll go over the feats you can learn as Orochi. You'll gain more feat resources playing objectives and killing enemies. Playing into your set role will garner you more resources overall. As an Orochi, you should be looking to kill plenty in the beginning of the match, but keep in mind the objectives. You'll need 1,000 points to break the enemy team's respawns. For the first slot, you can earn Bounty Hunter, unlocked at level 1. It allows you to gain health and stamina when you kill another hero. Ki, which is unlocked at level 5. This allows you to stun nearby opponents with a scream. And finally, Iron Lungs, which is unlocked at level 13. This will allow you to sprint even when you're out of stamina. Next up is the second slot. First is the Smoke Bomb, unlocked at level 1. Throwing a smoke bomb on the ground allows you to break a lock. Kunai, which is unlocked at level 7, allows you to throw a dagger that deals low damage. And at level 15, you unlock revenge attacks, which fill the revenge meter. Next up is the third slot, starting with the longbow, which is unlocked at level 1. You can fire a longbow for moderate damage. At level 9, you get the sharpened blade, which makes attacks inflict low damage over time. At level 17, you get slit through, which makes it to where dodging raises your attack for a short duration. And last is the fourth slot. At level 1, you get the Nail Bomb, which is a trap dealing bleed damage in an area of effect. At level 11, you get Fear itself, in which enemies around you have lower stamina regeneration and defenses. At level 19, you get Aerostorm, which makes aerial attack deal medium damage in multiple areas. As you level up, more feats will be available to you. Here are my favorite feats to use when they become available. Ki is a bit tricky. The range is quite low, but it's a solid interrupt ability or opener. Revenge attacks is highly dependent on your ability to hit attacks, but when you master the Orochi, you'll love it. Slip Through, again another tricky feat, needs for you to excel at movement and gauging your dodges. If you do though, you become a monster. And finally, Fear itself, this should be used in tandem with your second and third slot feats. You'll pump out absurd damage with the lower defenses. Next up are the playstyles. For 4v4 Dominion, get aggressive at the start of the round, especially considering the tools you have at level 1. Longbow does quite a bit of damage and will ensure kills when they try to run. Learn to flank around and help your allies. Fighting in 2v1s against a solo opponent is almost a guaranteed kill. Be sure to keep in mind your surroundings as the Orochi. You'll want to stay away from any sort of heights. It's easy to be thrown off in For Honor. Remember to get plenty of kills. You will need your feats if you want to win. In 4v4 and 2v2, you need to be able to win your 1v1 consistently and quickly. If not, you'll be leaving your teammate high and dry. Keep your dodges smart and fast. Make use of your combos that require a deflect as well. Sometimes I'll play outside of guard mode when facing multiple enemies because it's a tad wonky to gauge the parries or dodges when another enemy is at your side. Orochi excels at 1v1 fights due to the character's natural speed. Always keep in mind your guaranteed second overhead attack when you land your first. Your opponent will try to counter you by sideswiping you. Stay swift and be ready to parry. Once the parry deflect comes through, hit your counterattacks. Keep these tips in mind when you start out as the Orochi class and you'll destroy your adversaries. The Shugoki in For Honor is an aggressive character that focuses on getting the advantage over his enemies through his passive, uninterruptible stance. The stance, however, is broken upon getting hit or getting his guard broken. You will take more damage once the stance is broken, but it will come back after a few seconds regardless. Always remember to use your revenge meter. Revenge boosts your damage and health. As a Shugoki, you're going to need to abuse the bonuses whenever possible. Revenge mode makes all your attacks uninterruptible as well, and attacks are auto-parried on activation. Basically, makes you something to run away from. As for feats, you'll gain more feat resources playing objectives and killing enemies. Playing into your set role will garner you more resources overall to unlock them. For the first slot, you get Speed Revive unlocked at level 1. This allows you to rapidly revive fallen teammates. At level 5, you get Iron Lungs, which allows you to sprint when you're out of stamina. At level 13, you get Throw Further, which allows you to throw enemies further. For the second slot, at level 1, you get Rock Steady. You cannot be stumbled or imbalanced by parries or throws when using this feat. At level 7, you get the Smoke Bomb, which allows you to break blocks when thrown on the ground. At level 13, you get Juggernaut, which means when you're slowed, you gain a high damage reduction. Next, on the third slot, at level 1, you get Punch Through, which deals damage on blocked attacks. At level 9, you get the Longbow, which, like for Orochi, allows you to fire a longbow for moderate damage. At level 17, you get the Hard to Kill feat, which means losing health increases your damage reduction. For the fourth slot, at level 1, you get Staggering Blow, which means heavy attacks cause enemies to fall. At level 11, you unlock Aerostorm, an aerial attack that deals medium range in multiple areas. At level 19, you get Regenerate, which means you regenerate your health when out of combat. As you level up, more of your feats will become available to you, and these are just a few of my favorite for this character. First up is Throw Further. As a tanky character, you won't have many opportunities to get attacks in, so being able to insta-gib any opponent using the environment is a must-have. Next is Rock Steady. Your attacks are somewhat slow, so even if you get parried, you won't be locked out of actions. What's more, throws shouldn't affect you. Next up is Hard to Kill. This feat increases your survivability by a huge margin. Take this over anything else. And last up is Staggering Blow, which is an easy disable. Crowd control is key in For Honor. On to Playstyle. For 4v4 Dominion, you are the centerpiece of the team as a Shugoki. Stand your ground and dish out the punishment where you can. Occupy the middle objective or hold down the objective closer to the enemy spawn. You should be an immovable object. Be sure to keep in mind your surroundings as the Shugoki. You'll want to punish enemies that get near ledges or spikes. Play steady and slow. There is no need for you to chase kills. You are a defensive monster. In 4s and 2s, you need to be able to be the Rock. Take your opponents out using your throws when you can. You can get early damage in with your passive, then rinse and repeat as it continually comes back. Shugoki shines in 1v1 fights due to the character's passive ability. Always check for your uninterruptible attack, but don't make the attack obvious. Your opponent will try to counter you by either swiftly jabbing you to knock the passive off or waiting to parry the move. Make opportunities for yourself early. Remember to use your revenge meter and stay aggressive. Shugoki shines as an instigator of conflict, not a passive defender. The Kensei in For Honor is an adaptable, jack-of-all-trades character that focuses on getting the advantage over his enemies through solid range, unblockable attacks, and fair speed. You'll need to outrange the assassin classes and get in close to the ranged attackers as Kensei. Focus on finding ways to use your unblockable attacks. You have 3 different unblockable combos. However, don't use the same one too often as it'll, again, train your opponents that match to specifically look out for it. Always remember to use your revenge meter. Revenge boosts your damage and health. As a Kensei, you're going to need to abuse the bonuses whenever possible. Revenge mode makes all your attacks uninterruptible as well, and attacks are auto-parried on activation. And now on to the feats. You'll gain more feat resources playing objectives and killing enemies. Playing into your set role will garner you more resources overall to unlock them. As a Kensei, you should be looking to lead your team and call the shots. For the first slot, here's what you can unlock, starting at level 1 with Fast Recovery. This allows your stamina to regenerate faster. At level 5, you get Body Count. Again, killing soldiers grants you health and stamina. At level 13, Iron Lungs, which means you can still sprint when out of stamina. Here are your options for the second slot. At level 1, you get Inspire, which when used, allies deal more damage and soldiers fight faster. At level 7, you get the Smoke Bomb, which when thrown on the ground, breaks the lock. At level 15, you get Chilling Stare, which means nearby enemies have lower attack and defense. Next on to the third slot, at level 1 you get Second Wind, which means you recover some of your health. At level 9 you get the Longbow, which deals moderate damage. At level 17 you get Steadfast, which means you gain immunity from throw attempts for a short duration. And finally, the fourth slot. At level 1 you get Aerostorm, which is an aerial attack that deals medium damage in multiple areas. At level 11 you get the Stalwart Banner, which means nearby allies continuously regain health. At 19, you get Unblockable, which means your attacks are unblockable for a short duration. As you level up, more feats will become available, and these are just a few of my favorites for the Kensei class. Fast Recovery. When you get unblockable attacks, you're going to abuse them. When you abuse them, you're going to need stamina. This ability goes hand in hand with the unblockable feat. Next is Chilling Stare. Making enemies weaker will always be a solid option. The other abilities just aren't useful enough. The longbow, again, does solid damage. However, if you find that you aren't able to dodge the guard breaks and throws, you should invest in Steadfast. There will be plenty of Vikings to counter with this. And last is Unblockable. Use this every chance you get. You can spam attacks as much as you want with this feat. Now on to playstyle. In 4v4 Dominion, call the shots. Kensei plays out like an off tank, but still pops off in the DPS department. Communicate and make sure the odds are in your favor. Do not overextend. Find a continuous balance between aggression and defense. Your attacks and combos are quite basic, but the movesets can still do wonders. Be aware that you can be easily read. Always remember to support your tank. You don't have to flank necessarily, but you have plenty of options to bolster your team or debuff the enemy team. 4v4 and 2v2 can be a bit messy for the Kensei. You should focus more on playing around your team than choosing to take fights alone. You'll get easily massacred by multiple players. Kensei excels at 1v1 fights due to the character's natural adaptability. Always keep in mind your unblockable attacks. These will always be your go-to. Bear in mind that you can always use your throw into a chain finisher. I hope you found this For Honor guide to Orochi, Shugoki, and Kensei helpful. Enjoying For Honor so far? Who's your favorite class? Let me know in the comments. And remember to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more For Honor guides. You're watching esports on PvP Live.